Hi, I'm Liz Cully, and welcome back to Cool, Cool, Cool. Each week, I give you a glimpse into what I think is cool and chat with a ton of people that are definitely cool. No topic is off bounds unless, I guess, it's not cool. Welcome to Cool, Cool, Cool. I love the holidays for cooking. I love the cooking. I love going to other people's houses and seeing what they make. Obviously, I get very, very, very into the whole thing. I love having people over. And when my friend Michelle reached out to me that she had a new cookbook, I was very excited because I'm like, you know what? This is perfect. Holidays, food, cookbook. And here's the twist. Michelle and her business partner have created one of the biggest vegan cooking franchises, sites, podcast on her fifth book, Bad Manners. Some of you might remember the previous name was called Thug Kitchen. They have rebranded Bad Manners. I interviewed Michelle on my last show. She's lovely. She's a lesbian. She saw Rachel and I at a restaurant, which I died. I thought she was excited to see me, but Rachel's hair stands out in a crowd. But Michelle and I have been cool over the last couple of years, and I was really excited to talk to her about her new book, Hungry as Hell. We are both Bay Area girls, so expect a lot of Bay Area references. And I think if you want some different, interesting vegan recipes for the holidays, which can be really nice as a reprieve from all the heaviness, check out her book, which is out on Halloween. I watched your Pop Sugar.
Oh, from a bazillion years ago.
Well, guess what? I used to work there.
Really?
And I used to sell. It was the same time. So where you recorded in Culver City in that studio, my office was right around there.
Oh, funny.
Oh, funny.
Small world, small.
I didn't realize this is your fifth book.
Yeah, it's my fifth book.
I mean, respectfully, how much vegan food? How many iterations are we
Yeah,
this is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. I mean, luckily, as the title of the fifth books let you know, I am hungry as hell. And so having a constant desire to eat something different and new really helps. And the cooking scene, especially the vegan cooking scene, is so different than when my first book came out in 2014. People still in, popular culture couldn't pronounce vegan. Getting a vegan option at any fucking restaurant was just...
How would they pronounce vegan?
Vegan all the time, or vegan.
Oh my God, please. I want to be there when someone says vegan.
That between that and being like, oh, there's gluten. And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? So I've been vegan 20 years this year.
So it's your 10-year anniversary of the first book.
Yeah.
20 years of vegan.
Yeah, and fifth cookbook. Yeah, a lot of anniversaries are happening, and I, got married this year. Everything's happening.
Congratulations!
Happening.
We just talked about that. It was our wedding anniversary yesterday. We love lesbian weddings. We celebrated. I mean, nothing is more lesbian than a vegan.
Yeah, courthouse wedding.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, between that and the two cats and the rescue pit bull, I'm just I am a walking stereotype, and there's nothing to be done about it.
That's fine. You know what? It's better than being a weird roided out white dude with hereditary alcoholism that's super into football and has concussions.
You know what? Fair enough. Fair.
I feel just rescuing animals and eating plants and pussy is fine.
Yeah, I'm hurting no one. I'm a giver. Okay,
you are a giver. I love it. Wow, that's a lot. I mean, I just and thank you for sending me a little advanced copy of the new book. I was looking through it. So many things I love. I was getting through brunch and it was mushroom cobbler. I'm like, oh wow, she's really getting creative. She must.
You have to start thinking outside the box. And I'm not somebody who necessarily gravitates towards a sweet breakfast. if I could have like spaghetti at breakfast time all the time, like I would be down. So I'm trying to
You're an adult.
Yeah.
Who says you can't? My wife always says that. Like she always wants ice cream for breakfast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, or she'll eat like bolognese from the night before. And I'm like, okay, well, you can do that. Like
yeah, but now I'm trying to indoctrinate people into my into my lifestyle.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes. So many, I mean, cilantro rice I saw in there, which I need. Did you not have a cilantro rice recipe in any of your books? Besides the original book.
Yes. No, I didn't have any cilantro rice or anything like that. Like this book is really, the whole focus is each chapter, while it's divided into like the normal meals that you would eat, the first half of the recipes are under 40 minutes. And that's because that's the average delivery time on all the apps nationwide. And so that's from chop to chomp, as I like to say.
Chop to chomp.
And so that second half is the longer recipes. And so I'm really, it's supposed to be like a mix and match kind of book where you learn skill sets and you have these different dishes like cilantro rice that you can plug into burritos. You can make a bowl with it. You can do this, you can do that, so that it really teaches you how to cook for life, not just cook from recipes.
Well, there you go. There you have it. How long does it take
to do a cookbook?
Write a cookbook.
It should take about 2 years. I've had shorter deadlines for a host of reasons. And so you need at least a full calendar year to recipe test and, to perfect everything. Because then you start assembling the book. You might have all this beautiful collection of recipes. You meet the 100 guidelines, you have it all divided. And then you're like, oh shit, like I have too many things that are like a sandwich, or I have too many rice-based dishes, or I have too many, and then you have to change the recipes to be a cohesive project. And then you have to shoot it.
And then, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms, because then there might be recipes that I really, really love, but they're just ugly. Not ugly to eat, like they look appetizing, but when you take a photo, like soup is so difficult to take a photo of.
There's a pretty photo of soup in there that I saw.
Oh, well, I work for it. I styled the crap out of that one. Gravy.
But why can't you just not take, because I feel like sometimes in cookbooks, some things have pictures and some things don't for that reason. Can't you just not take a picture of it?
Yes, I sometimes do not I'll be like, no, we can't take a photo of that because it'll be ugly. But then sometimes I'm so proud of the recipe. People don't cook the recipes that don't have photos. And so then it's like a personal challenge to be like, it's so true. It is 100% true. If there isn't a photo, I would say 80% of people who buy the book will never cook that recipe.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my caramba.
I'm already fighting an uphill battle trying to get people to cook as it is.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
So you said, the landscape of veganism and, vegan cuisine has changed so much. I mean, I think, again, you and I both being from the Bay Area, even though you were more, well, I guess East.
Yeah, East Bay.
Yeah. Like near the Delta, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Delta Pride, baby.
Oh, I used to be on that Delta in the summertime. Don't get it twisted. Lost Isle, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been there.
Don't throw it back like that.
Oh my God, do you die? I would die if anyone listening right now hit me up and was like, holy shit, you just threw a Stockton throwback Lost Isle. And I'd be like, sure fucking did.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like not as I would say, like you didn't have the cafe gratitudes that maybe I experienced in San Francisco, or like even living down here. I mean, there's so many. I never think about it, right? Like we're so privileged because we have so many options. But what have you seen change other than that people can actually pronounce vegan, which is
I would say generally people are a lot less apprehensive or scared about the idea of vegan food, that they realize
just fucking vegetables.
It's food that you've eaten before. It's not a different kind of food. It just doesn't also have the additional animal products that you're used to. And so I think people have really, omnivores have really kind of taken that to heart and been like, oh, it's not such I'm not going without to have a vegan meal for dinner. I'm not like, I don't have to be a different kind of person to enjoy a vegan restaurant or to buy a vegan cookbook. I don't have to be 100% vegan. I think people are relaxing a little bit and seeing where they can give, and maybe understanding a little bit more that our meat-centric diet isn't the best for us, our pocketbooks, or the planet.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, let me tell you though, heaviest meal in Los Angeles, gracias madre.
Oh my God.
Literally, I will have never felt like I have eaten a tonnage in my life. I can't eat there. It's such a bummer. I really, it was such a thing. I body checked Beyonce by mistake. Oh yeah.
How did you
remember when she was like super vegan and
yeah. I think she Blue Ivy had a birthday party there.
Yeah, I bet. So my office was literally directly across the street next to Craig's, which which actually they have a lot of really good vegan options.
Yes, they do.
And
most of their takeaway business is vegan.
Well, and the ice cream. And,
it's delicious.
It is good. Not my favorite vegan ice cream though.
Well, they have competition.
I like the mint chip, or like they have like a peanut butter crunchy one that I like as well from Craig's. But
I'm not over the body check of Beyonce. We need to double back.
No, I'm getting there. So I worked across the street, and gracias madre is very expensive. Yes. I mean, I think the thing that's great about it is it's incredibly elevated, energetic.
It's a beautiful space.
Yeah, restaurant. But and it definitely, I think, elevated the profile from having a lot of paparazzi out there. Like, great, wonderful. Woohoo. So I run across the street because I was getting a drink with someone after work. They have great cocktails, by the way.
Their cocktail program is the reason to go.
It really, I also think their chips are fabulous. They almost taste like Fritos, but very heavy. Anyway, I digress. So I run in like crazy, running in, and I go to turn around really quick. Oh no, maybe I had gone to have a drink and I left something at the bar.
So you rushed back in.
So I was like rushing because I was like, why was I running? That's right. I'd had a drink with a friend. Actually, my friend Isabel ran in, came to run back out, and turned real quick. Like you grab something, you have to run back to work. And I turn around and just fucking slam into Beyonce, her bodyguard, like everyone's there.
Yeah.
I didn't really see her face because it was kind of her side.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, those bodyguards were like, you need to get the fuck. I was like, oh, and she was teeny at that time. I was just like, oh, fuck. I mean, she was very sweet. It was so quick. She barely even said anything to me, but let me tell you, I never returned because I felt so stupid.
I don't even know. It would keep me up at night to this.
If you body checked Beyonce?
Yeah.
Who else I body checked? T.I. Very small guy.
Yes. I've met T.I. He was very
Why?
Yeah. We briefly had a podcast at the same place. And so he came in.
Wait, really?
Yeah. And he was on my podcast.
Wait, what? What podcast was this? Are you kidding me right now?
No, I had a podcast called Forked Up. It went for like 3 years. Yeah. And it ended in 2021, but T.I. was on it.
What were you guys talking about?
We talked about aliens, even though I had a food podcast.
He's a little guy.
Yeah, he's a little guy. Yes. Very charming, though. Very charming.
But he couldn't have been lovelier. I was actually, you'll appreciate this as a Bay Area girl. I was at it was only women invited. It was like a press night. It was during Grammys week for the Migos.
Okay.
You know that song, whatever their original first
hit.
Yeah. Whatever the fuck that song was, This is far before Cardi B. This is a long time ago. And I was there. I was with this former friend of mine, Rebecca Haithcote. I don't know where she's at. Rebecca, if you're listening, I hope you're okay. She kind of like, how LA people disappear and you're like,
yeah.
Cool. And I was with Rebecca Jamoje, otherwise known as Miss Dimples. And we were all in the corner. And the DJ, while we were waiting for Migos, did a mashup of Blow the Whistle and Tell Me When to Go. So as a Bay Area girl, obviously
get
I'm
on the
gonna
floor.
fucking throw bows. And I literally was like, right into T.I. Like, couldn't have hit him any harder. And he was lovely. He was like, and I was shook. I was like, oh, fuck. I just like knocked like in the shoulder T.I. and he gave me a hug and he took a picture. But also his friends were like, what the fuck? This white girl just like went to knock you out. But he couldn't have been lovelier. Wow. Very random. Who else did you have on that podcast that we might not expect?
Barbara Boxer.
What?
Henry Rollins.
What? Henry Rollins, fine. Like, that guy gets around.
Yeah, for sure.
Barbara Boxer?
I had Barbara Boxer.
Like, wow.
Like former Senator Barbara Boxer. Yeah.
Oh, correct. Yes.
Yes. Who else was a weird one? Those were, that was some of the weirder. Those were some of like the Mia Khalifa.
Mia Khalifa also gets around.
Yeah,
she is like on every podcast, everything. Is she?
But I mean, how many podcasts have had Barbara Boxer, T.I.
and Mia Khalifa? Fair enough. Wow. Okay. Yeah. What a mixed bag of tricks you got there.
Yeah. Your girl's been in LA for a minute.
I know. Trust me. I'm like, dude, Jesus Christmas. When people are like, ooh, LA, I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm like, I'm gonna go be a dentist. They make so much money. Did you watch the Netflix documentary Bad Vegan?
No, but I'm very familiar with the whole case.
What the fuck is going on with that? The whole story is completely ridiculous. Like, none of it fundamentally makes sense to me. For those listening, we're talking about the Netflix documentary, but also the real life story of this woman who was really a restaurateur, excuse me.
She had Plant Food and Wine.
Was it plant or was it pure food?
Maybe it was Pure Food and Wine.
Pure Food and Wine.
Her business partner Matthew Kinney still has tons of vegan restaurants all over LA.
Oh, really? What does he have in LA?
He has a pasta place in Venice. He has Sistina in Culver City. He has another like Kiss something in Culver City. Okay. He's got a lot of spots. And hers was like the first vegan restaurant, I would say, that got a really big national kind of profile. It was raw, and everybody who was anybody was always there. When I went to New York, I went there, used all the money I had.
Oh yeah. How much was like a meal there? I also wondered that. Was it like $200, $300?
Yeah, it was very expensive. Yeah. It was very,
and when you say raw, for the folks listening who might not know, does that mean it's cooked?
Yeah, so it's like not heated over a certain degree for like enzymatic like health. It's a whole branch of veganism that for some reason got popular in the national like imagination before just straight up veganism did. So it did kind of paint everybody as a little fringy. So everything's not cooked, everything is raw. It's like really heavy into nut-based stuff, soaked, sprouted. Yeah. And so I had a lasagna there that was really good, but that was the strength of the cashews really in the bechamel and everything else. That was delicious, but it was a beautiful spot. And like so many vegan restaurants before that had wonderful food programs fell apart because of just the kooky bananasness of the...
She was sort of, her name is Sarma Melangelisis. There you go. Yeah. But basically she was like definitely chatting with, tons of stars. And
oh yeah, Alec Baldwin like lived there.
Yeah, but which doesn't, that was the only thing in the documentary that made sense. The fact that he would be so into a fraud, crazy, fringy woman. Yes. And lo and behold, she in the documentary was like, I could have been Ilaria. And it's like, you are actually Ilaria. Yeah. You are just a different version of this woman who has like a pretend fucking accent, who is
it's not Spanish at all.
Who is not Spanish. Who's like, me having family in Mexico, me spending so much time in Mexico, I am more Spanish than this woman. And that is a ridiculous statement to make. And I'm kidding. But so I guess like, you're right. It's so interesting. I never even thought about, again, because I think I'm from, San Francisco, and I've spent so much of my life in California, but raw veganism. I mean, there was so many stores and like shops
in the early
Marin,
2000s. That were
like
really
early 2000s. Yeah. I had my Jack LaLanne juicer. Didn't need to eat. It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah. It went perfectly with diet culture at the time too,
Yeah, that's fair. What about that? Actually, that's an interesting thing to discuss, because I think I said this when you were on scissoring, but I was vegan to impress a girl for a while. I found out is no longer vegan.
Oh, does that make you so frustrated? Or are you like, I fucking told you?
No, she was such a fucking phone ballones anyway. I'm like, you're a loser. I never claimed. I just wanted to I also don't have a problem going to a restaurant, and if something looks good to me and it's vegan, that's fine.
Yes.
My whole life is predominantly fruits and vegetables. Like, we live in California, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But you're secure. Your diet doesn't dictate your identity. You're secure in that. So
But I gained a ton of weight because I wasn't eating the right thing. I was, I was kind of going to the easy things, which is carbs or pasta or whatever, which I know, you do also have a book about how to make quicker meals that probably aren't just those things. Cause I think the education part, veganism, can be so important, all of it, right? So that you're not.
We don't really have a good food culture here in the US. We have a beautiful restaurant scene. We have the greatest produce in the world. We have so many wonderful things, but we don't have, as Americans, a daily practice of cooking. So we don't have that kind of fluency that we need to have a healthy relationship with food, regardless of what it is, whether you're vegan or not. And so to educate somebody about veganism and vegan cooking, you actually have to educate them about food first, because most Americans don't know what the fuck is in their food. And for good reason. I remember one time I was making something with peanut butter, and this dude was like, "Can you have that?" And I'm like, "You have no fucking clue what is in any food you eat." He thought there was butter, dairy products in peanut butter.
Got it.
Interesting. And that's the first part of writing these cookbooks, is that I have to teach people how to cook. And then I have to teach them about fruits and vegetables, because so many of us didn't grow up eating well-prepared fruits and vegetables. And for some reason, we've blamed that on the veggies, where it's but you've had dry ass pork chops and nobody's blaming pork.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? We'll hold it against vegetables, but we'll be I'll give chicken another try, because you understand it was the preparation that
versus the thing. I know. I've said this many a times. Nothing will get me more peeved than an adult who's I don't eat green things. Or I don't eat
I don't like water.
Or exactly. I
didn't know we had an option, motherfuckers.
But it really grinds my gears when there's an adult that's I won't eat, squash or whatever. I mean, God bless her. I have a dear friend. She's I just don't really like tomatoes, or I'm just going to push off this green bean or asparagus. I'm what the fuck are you doing? No. I mean, here's the thing. Do I what is it? Durang? What is
durian?
It? Durian?
Yeah, fruit.
Don't.
No.
I was in Thailand and I ate it, and I was this does smell like feet to me, and I don't like the texture. It's too milky, and this isn't for me. But I tried it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But that doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all. I don't like lychee. I don't really like the texture or the smell. But if there's lychee in some, I'll eat it. It's not gonna kill me.
I think that's the difference too, is also are you willing to kind of interrogate your own preferences and see what's up? if I don't like something, I'm going to be like, oh, is it because it's bitter? Or is it because it's overcooked? Like, what is it? Like, it's fine to have preferences. But if you're just like, I don't like green things as a blanket rule, you're missing out on so much. And our taste buds change over time. So why wouldn't you want to check in and have this beautiful experience? Eating shouldn't be something we have to endure. It's a small moment for us to like bring ourselves some pleasure and to be kind to ourselves. And the fact that we don't value that moment in our culture is a loss for all of us.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I mean,
it's a huge bummer.
Put green food dye in your weird fucking cookies that you're going to eat. It's so stupid.
TikTok cooking makes me insane because it's like you're assembling. You know, if you're dumping pre-made things all into something, like you're not cooking anything, you're assembling dinner, you're not cooking. And while that's a great place to start, like that's how I learned with like pastaroni, you know, and adding like, you know, broccoli to my pastaroni when I was like 8, because I'm a fucking weirdo.
We all did. I mean, hello, Annie's mac and cheese with broccoli, like get out of here. It's a meal for days. Like,
yeah, but that's not, you know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, this is my recipe. No,
fair enough.
You're assembling.
I was like, let me think about that for a second.
Yeah, you're assembling.
What food? So it's, you know, I think, perception and availability has obviously, it sounds like, really changed. What food, like vegan dupe? So for instance, you have a lot of nut-based cheeses. You've got you nutritional yeast that tastes like cheese. You have a lot of different products that you now see on the scene that can aid in recipes and cooking for vegans. What has come the farthest?
Honestly, I would say vegan cheese has come the farthest. I think going from trying to just replicate look and texture, which was how it was from the 70s to the mid 2000s, where they just want something melty and creamy, to actually treating the nut milks like you would a dairy milk and aging it with the bacteria and all the rest that you would to make cheese. And to do yogurts, like to actually culture it, has improved the taste of that so much more than, you know, there's still a long way to go, but it doesn't taste like melted plastic all the time anymore. And
that really gave melted plastic.
Yeah. And that's
really
a win. Did. I know that the alternative meats have really come far. That's just not my bag. I don't like them.
We talked about that the last time. I don't fuck with that. I would rather just have like a vegetable alternative.
Yeah, no. If a place has a homemade burger patty with, you know, beans and all the grains and all the stuff, like something like that, I would much rather have that. If it's an Impossible Burger or Beyond Burger, no shade to their products. People love them. It's just not for me. But I know
it's very processed. No.
Yeah. And that's not, I want to teach people to cook. I think that I don't want corporations to cook for us as a rule. And when you let corporations cook for you, you get the worst of all worlds. And I want to buy whole ingredients and make them into something myself.
What's like a vice that you have, like an airplane food?
Like the most disgusting thing.
Well, not disgusting. Like, so there are no rules in the sky.
Yes.
In my opinion. Like there are no rules. I have tortured my soul and body through every diet that has ever been created, pretty much. Yes. But when I am in an airport and I see extra toasty Cheez-Its or fish, I purchase those and I eat them in the sky.
That's where it doesn't count. Yeah, I hear that.
No rules in the sky. What is your like, and I assume it would be a vegan treat of some sort, but what is like your treat in the sky?
I love a Chex Mix.
Ooh, yes. Is that vegan?
Yeah, there's certain flavors of it that are. You have to check for that damn whey protein, which like fucking take it out. That is like not important.
Why is there whey protein in Chex Mix?
Who knows? Who cares? It's sticky and it helps like it doesn't matter. It's unnecessary. Get it out of there, guys. Chex Mix is one. I mean, Yeah, that's my big like on the road feel disgusting. Let's go for it.
Does Snyder's mix have whey protein?
No, it hasn't. Snyder's probably.
Yeah, because that's some like weird off-brand.
Yeah, it checks is legit. Checks is legit, and I don't mind like if I'm being really gross. A red vine.
Ooh, Rachel loves red vines. I can't. What the fuck is in a red vine?
Red number 4 and wheat. Yeah, it's a glutinous product, but I grew up a couple blocks from a 7-Eleven. And so, and I had braces and, I wasn't supposed to be eating that shit. And so I'd go down there like with my allowance and eat my red vines and just like shove them in my face. I'd come home. My mom's like, oh, like what? And it's all in my braces. I'm like, no, I haven't been to 7-Eleven. Like, what are you talking about?
That makes me think of strawberry sour belts.
Oh, yes. Love a sour spaghetti. Yeah.
Sour spaghetti. Mine are the sour belts. We used to go to Gino's on Fillmore and Clay? Yeah, or California.
Yeah.
Fillmore in California, maybe. And we would get a sandwich, a soda, and I would get, he had like a whole thing set up, and I would get like a little brown paper bag and just fucking get and I was so stoned. I would smoke weed in Alpha Plaza Park. Just go sit, eat my Dutch Crunch sandwich, and just plow strawberry sour belts. Oh, yeah.
That was one of my moves.
Huh? Yeah. I could skip a red vine any day. Rachel loves them. She also loves, like, what are those things? Sour Patch Kids.
Love.
What the fuck are in those, though? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, same kind of garbage. It's really interesting to hear you talk about like being on every diet under the sun, because we're right that perfect age to still have gotten the absolute worst of diet culture. The fact that skinny is coming so back in and low-rise jeans and all the rest, like how is that sitting with you as a person?
A question for me.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't like it. I am a high waist, almost to where my bra like holds my breasts in kind of gal.
Like a borderline jumpsuit.
I with like the longest zipper. Do you know what I mean? So it just looks like my vagina is like 10 feet long. The diet culture stuff it's a bummer. I think, I talked to Hunter Abrams, who's a fashion photographer on this show, and they were saying that there was a huge lack of representation and body representation on the runways these days. It's a bummer for me. I think to your point about cooking and eating whole foods and being excited about it, I mean, I'm like in this garden, fucking Winchester mystery garden. That's like literally what it's like never ending, like the Winchester mystery house. Like,
another Bay Area,
another Bay Area drop. But I have like my passion fruits and I have my grapefruits and my oranges, and I'm doing like all different kinds of citrus. And I've attempted to grow tomatoes, but like some little pesky animal keeps eating them all. But I grew up my dad's from New Zealand. He grew up on a farm. We grew a lot of our own food. I love that. I go to the farmer's market every Sunday like a little nerd. I don't go with a plan. I see what's in season. I love cooking food. And so I think I have to just remain present in the fact that I love the whole experience. I love meeting the farmers. I love chatting with them. This guy I know this is not vegan, but it's eggs. But this guy was so funny this past weekend with me with his eggs. Like he was like, wow, they're brand new, fresh. And I was like, ooh, they feel so warm. He's like, oh, you're just taking the piss out of the vinegar. Like this crazy old guy, from fucking who knows where. And I just have to remember that because food became such an enemy for me for so long. And so I feel really, first of all, fashion, regardless of low-rise jeans, is in the dumbest place I've ever seen fashion in my life. It is a snooze fest. It is so dumb. Nothing is cute. I don't care what anybody says. It's all bad.
Yeah, I fully agree. Not only is it bad, it's also boring, which is the bigger sin to me.
Sins, 10 sins across the board. It's a huge bummer. I think that, so I think having diet culture be boring and skinny and thin is also boring and lame. So I'm just trying to be present and not think about like the effects of food, but think about how much I love to cook food and how much that calms me down. In fact, I made an amazing mushroom bolognese, like only vegetables bolognese from Cooks Illustrated the other night.
Ooh.
And I didn't have any cream or milk. Ooh, but it had a lot of butter. Sorry. What's a good butter alternative for anybody else? Because dairy can fuck people up too, regardless if you're vegan or not.
Yeah, Miyoko's has a really lovely, like French style cultured butter. That is
Miyoko's?
Yeah, that's the brand. And then Earth Balance is a good one for like a traditional, if you grew up with like real, like yellow, almost margarine kind of butter. I
can't believe it's not butter vegan.
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's a bunch of like shortening dyed yellow, and then it has that ultra fake buttery, like almost movie theater.
What is it? Is it oil?
Yeah, it's just oil. It's just whipped oil.
So it is vegan.
Yeah, but they put a little bit of, I think, again, it's a whey product in there.
Cultured whey.
Yeah.
Maybe that's your next show. You just have rappers come on, or like people come on, and we figure out like, is this
what
vegan?
The fuck are you
or
eating?
what are the fuck is this? Oh my god.
Oreos are vegan.
I don't give a shit about Oreos.
I'm not a store-bought cookie person. Like,
me neither.
Yeah, fuck that. Give me a homemade cookie. If it comes out of a sleeve, I'm barely interested.
Ooh, actually, I take that back. You know that, but it's very nostalgic, and I haven't eaten in about like 25 years. But Pepperidge Farm Milanos, but orange.
Intriguing.
My grandmother loved them.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say, I was like, that's deeper.
That's like not real. I bet I would eat it, and it would be like, bleh, like.
That's why you don't want to go back. Don't meet your heroes. Don't retaste your favorite food from childhood. I
regret naming this show Cool. It should be literally called Don't Meet Your Heroes. If anyone knows, that's all that's it. Yeah, I think it's all like that nostalgia stuff. But yeah, no, I don't give a shit. Like, what is it? Cookies Ahoy or Chips Ahoy? Go get fucked. I don't want any of that shit.
You could give me a whole box of that or one homemade cookie. I'm going to take the homemade cookie every single time. But I think part of like all of this food culture stuff and diet culture is I want women specifically to feel okay being hungry and wanting to like fill yourself up and to give yourself this good food, to not, like how you're saying, not focus on the outcome of eating.
Yeah. But
really that you're nourishing yourself in such a loving way when you give yourself the food that you want. And so many of us will, especially people with kids, you dish up your plate last. You give all your food to everyone around you before you fill up your own plate. And I really wish we could change the conversation away from kind of restraint with food until to just a wild hunger. And to
love imagining in my mind women or parents like filling up their own plate and telling their kids to just figure it out. Yeah. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Yeah, sorry.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I have a friend named Kat who she and her husband have been vegan for a long time. Their kids are vegan, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I know traveling.
Yeah.
Like overseas has been, do they have good options there? Is there any country that you've gone to that had more options than you thought?
Greece.
Oh yeah, but
labeled vegan, like in the Athens airport, I went to get a coffee and they had a croissant and it was like vegan croissant. I was like, I can't get that like anywhere in Los Angeles. Most places don't have vegan fucking croissant. So I was so impressed with that. I was very surprised. And then small town grocery stores have really come a long way. Like I have relatives in Duncan, Oklahoma, like nowhere. And I went to the grocery store just like to fill up my little, refrigerator in my hotel. And they had so many vegan, like it's really becoming easier and easier, but you do have to be educated on what is in food to know, especially when you're traveling internationally. So many places have a vegan culture, whether it's from, Buddhist practices or because of fasting for other religious observations, whether you're like Orthodox Christian or all the rest. There is a culture, so many places that cooks without animal products. And you just have to be aware of that stuff and then just kind of search that out in those neighborhoods. But I really don't have that much trouble traveling internationally. You just have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's the problem, is that most of us don't. And because there's no culinary education. There's no like, hey, this is what is in here.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, clearly I don't know what's in anything.
Yeah.
Oh, this whole time.
Yeah, I worked at a grocery store for a long, long time.
I remember.
Yeah. And so the questions I would get would blow my mind. Like, they're like, oh, I want to know if this mayo is gluten-free. And I'm like, do you know what even goes into mayo? Like, they're not going to label it gluten-free because there shouldn't be any gluten anywhere near this product. Yeah, you don't need to label oranges gluten-free for the same reasons. But it's, people don't know. And, this, no shade to these individuals, but all the shade to our fucking country.
Travis Barker.
Oh, yes.
Is a huge vegan.
Yeah.
Loves Crossroads.
Yeah. And that's not just for show. I've seen that guy there so many times.
Seen him there.
Yeah.
And I haven't been in many ones. He brought Calabasas has their own Crossroads
for his convenience.
Literally, I think. Yeah. And also, like, they should have a second location and another one in Vegas.
Yes. The chef at Crossroads, he was the head chef for, who's the vegan? Oh, Steve Wynn. So
Steve Wynn is a vegan?
Yeah, if you stay at any of his hotels, there is at least one vegan option on all of their menus because he's vegan. So you can always, if there's a Steve Wynn anything, you're going to find at least something vegan. And Tal Ronan, the chef behind Crossroads, was cooked for him for a long, long time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who was like the most, do you have like a whole like Rolodex of famous?
Oh, for sure.
Who would be a famous vegan we might not know?
That would surprise you.
Ellen was a vegan, no longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
She really flippity flopped on everything.
Yeah.
Even kindness and happiness and all the rest, right?
Oh, bless her. My thoughts on Ellen is that she should have never had a daytime show. She should have only had a late night show, and then none of this would have been a fucking issue, because she could have had her whole ass personality. She wouldn't have to pretend to be like nice.
You talk to a lot of people.
I
don't know if she was nice.
No, she was like, but is she a bigger dick than like the dudes at late night? You know what I mean?
No, certainly not. I think it was just sort of like,
she put herself up on that pedestal.
But who's not going to take a fucking talk show? And also, she is like the biggest talk show. I mean,
oh yeah, I just wish she could have had like the Tonight Show.
Or, I think the other problem is she went so hardcore, like bringing children on her show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've never sat in the audience for a daytime show in my life, so I don't know.
I actually went to the Ellen show.
Stop it. Did you get a car or fucking something?
No,
cool?
no, not me as a human. I had some friends visiting, and so we were in the audience. They wanted to go to a taping. And
I know, but did you get anything? Remember how it's like, you get a car.
I got a Pitbull CD.
Stop it. Mr. 305?
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide. Yeah.
You know what's so funny? I am dying to meet Pitbull. When I was still working in music, I always used to be like, please get Mr. 305 on anything. And they're like, why? I'm like, I don't know.
He's my white whale. I don't know.
He's just quite fascinating to me. Also a petite man.
Yeah. Oh, they're also petite. And I'm a tall lady.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm 5'9". And so
you are?
Yes.
That's very tall.
Yeah. And then I love to wear a heel. I love
if that's what you like, as you should.
Yeah. And especially having like a male business partner and being like, knowing I'm going to have to take a photo with T.I. or any of these dudes. I'm like,
well, babe, you don't even know heels with T.I. Let me tell
I know. And that's what I'm saying, is that I'm like, do I need to go barefoot? Like, do I have to shrink down? Because I know that the dudes aren't pleased.
5'9". That's so I wish I was just like 5'5" or like 5'6", 5'7".
So I really wanted to wear like tall heels on our wedding day, and we got married at the courthouse. And my wife is not short, but she's 5'7", and so with heels, and I'm a good 5 inches taller than her. And so she did the cutest thing. She bought a little folding stool, and so when the judge was like, "You may kiss the bride," she popped out the stool and then stood on it so she could kiss down to me. Cutest
it's
thing.
Getting gayer and gayer as this conversation evolves. Wow. I love that.
Adorable. Loved it. It's my favorite like memory.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah.
I have to say that's very, very cute. Okay. I love to ask chefs this. I love to ask anyone in the culinary world this question. What is your like last meal before you get electrocuted for something bad that you did in jail?
That is...
There's no tomorrow. There's not even tonight. This is it. This is the last of the last.
I will say generally my comfort food is Thai, always.
Oh, yeah.
Always Thai. But if I'm going like last night on earth, I want probably like a big plate of bucatini with like a delicious marinara, tons of basil, like a big Caesar salad with like garlicky crouton.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is the correct answer.
Yeah. And just comfort. It would be between that and just doing a full ass like $800 Thai order and just going to town.
Ham. Is Thai food easy to get vegan?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
A lot of all the big restaurants in LA that are vegan or that are Thai can usually cook something. They just need to leave out like dried shrimp or this and that. And especially
fish sauce.
Fish sauce. But they're pretty fluent in it because if they have, because of Buddhism.
Exactly. I was going to say, yeah.
It helps me out. But Satha on the west side, it's on Lincoln.
Girl, I moved to the east side. I'm never going to the west side again.
Oh. No.
I live too far away. I just looked at my calendar for next week and it's like Culver City.
Oh no.
Venice. And I was like, oh, y'all trying to kill me out here.
Holy Basil in downtown LA.
Holy Basil is very good.
Delish, great vegan menus too. Delicious. Great spot. Filipino food, La Cita
I just was there a week ago.
Really? Oh, so good.
You know what about La Cita? I don't know if they would ever listen to this, but you know what? The owner and his wife are so hot and from the Bay.
Yes.
They're also my Filipino brother and sister from the Bay. I was like, all right, you got some family in Saramonte. What's up? You got South San Francisco. I was like, I went to San Francisco State. No, they're really cute. I love La Cita.
They also have tons of great vegan options there.
Yeah, they do. Actually, a lot of the stuff we got was vegan now that I think about it. We had chicken, but
that's the best. That's the best. In my opinion, I would always rather eat at restaurants that have stuff that's vegan than necessarily eat at a vegan restaurant. I just find the quality of cooking and just the level of, attention to layering the flavors and everything is just much higher.
You know, it's a bummer. Not that I always am like, last question, and then I never end. You know what is not what it used to be? Real Food Daily.
Oh,
that is a travesty.
When Anne Gentry, I think was her name. Yeah. The original owner, when she left, the food just changed completely. The lady who runs Pure Vita.
Oh yeah, which is very good
which is delicious.
Santa Monica.
Yeah. A great vegan Italian place in Los Angeles. She used to cook for them. And so after Anne left and then she left, forget, I haven't been in years. I used to go all the time.
All the time. My order was the spicy BLT, but as a wrap.
Ooh.
In the spinach wrap. And then I would get the Caesar salad on the side.
Yes. Loved.
That was I loved it. And it was so expensive. And I couldn't afford it. And I'd be like, this is my treat.
Yeah. I earned it.
Yeah. Wow. What a bummer. What a bummer.
And that's it's so many things. Like there was a great vegan restaurant by LACC called Pure Luck way back in the day. That was so delicious. And same thing, like just completely fucking shit the bed and like closed. I'm like, come on, guys. But we're left with like the garbage that lasts forever. Veggie Grill never close.
Oof, the worst. The worst. I mean, in a crunch, I suppose, but
Yes.
yeah, real bummer. Your book comes out on Halloween.
Yes. My fifth book comes out on Halloween.
Book on Halloween.
Oh, actually,
Great. Oh, look at, thank you.
I love they ship me one copy and then I'm like, so I show it to people and they're like, oh, can I have it? I'm like, yeah, and it's my only
You're like, no, you can't have this.
But yes,
And
very proud of it.
Wonderful book for the holidays because there's
Yes.
a lot of overeating in the holidays.
Yeah. And like I said, like so many of these recipes you can plug and play into other menus. But if you have a vegan cousin, you have a vegan like daughter-in-law, whatever, like this food will not stand out on your spread of every other kind of food. Like it'll just, that's my whole thing, is that it's good food that happens to be vegan.
There you have it. I just love her. You know, when you like see someone you haven't seen in a while and you're like, oh, I love that person. I love her. And I've seen the book and it's incredible. Lots and lots and lots of recipes. You wouldn't even think to yourself, oh, like, that is vegan after all. But, you know, it is no easy feat to create 5 vegan cookbooks, let me tell you. And she is incredible. I can't wait to start cooking some of these recipes. It's fabulous. So definitely a good little gift for yourself or for your friend. But yeah, check it out.